All right, guys, welcome to the Sci-Fi live stream with your host, Captain Naga. Hey, guys, hopefully y'all having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight, special, whatever time this is coming at you. Take this energy now that we all in the same boat. We can start the conversation. Hey, guys, man, I want to talk to y'all today about Article 13. If y'all didn't know about Article 13, a quick synopsis before we really start this conversation is it is a ban on memes. They are trying to take our memes, and that entails so much more, because a lot of people just pass off memes as 9-year-olds in the PewDiePie world, or they just say it's for little kids. The meme world and what's going on with all the memes is just for the childlike mind and for adults that don't have it all together and things like that. But it's way, way, way bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. And before I forget this little tidbit, I want to say that esoterically is titled Article 13, which is going to put a stop to people's being able to be as creative as they want with the information that is readily available. And creativity ups the level of human consciousness up a bit. I'm gonna break this all down, but it's titled Article 13 and esoterically because is 3, 1 plus 3, and 1 plus 3 is 4, and when you get to the 4, that represents secure foundation for the future. And that secure, it all based off of who is secure and what and for what reasons, who was doing the do. Like if it was a mob's gangster saying, I'm just holding all this down for security, you probably won't feel as secure as as somebody else in like an opposing field. But it really 4 is foundation for the future. It's moving on. 4 in Article 13, 1 plus 3 is 4. This is an article that's trying to change. That's trying to it's trying to hold down a lot of change. It's trying to hold down so that these big companies can now paint the picture and say what's going to happen and how we express ourselves, or just you got to work for the company and work through the company to express yourself. And all these other fields we see, and how tragic this has been when it comes to our food, comes to our clothes and everything, the shortcuts and everything that's taken to get the product that the big companies want to get out, for that to get out. Y'all, hopefully y'all tired with me. And if y'all don't know, just ties, when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles and you keep them spinning, like whatever come out, it's just shooting out. It's just shooting out. Now, Terrence McKenna, he mentioned memes before. And also Richard Dawkins. He's a atheist biologist. I ran across him in my atheist days, but he coined the term meme back in the day as a shortening of the word gene, but having its own expression of itself. And what that word mean is, memes are ideas. Memes are ideas, and memes and ideas are not something that's just shaped and molded to just come across as just one way, or to get, it's just one way. It has different multiple meanings, and it's taken from different, like idea is everything. And then when it comes into this, you get the idea of a stocking cap. So now it's just a stocking cap, but that stocking cap in the idea world is made up of a lot of different different shapes and different forms, taken from here and taken from there and taken from there. Like the stretchiness of it is taken from one idea. The fact that it's brown is another idea. The fact that it has holes in it and things like that so that it can stretch, that's another idea. Like this is a meme, and everything is a meme. Like to break it down, like the fact that let's keep it in this generation. Like the fact that we say PlayStation 3 is the best. PlayStation 3 can do this. PlayStation 3 is this. And that's a meme. Like PlayStation 3 can take you away from your family, or PlayStation 3 can bring you closer to your family. Or y'all know how memes are constructed when you do the picture, but this is like the general overall term. Memes has memes in the pictures and things all is representative of all this back end knowledge that now is we see now in also in forms of pictures, like creating different ideas. But to keep me on track, yeah, the meme of this is PlayStation 3. You gotta have a PlayStation 3. And now the new meme is you gotta have a PlayStation 4. And then some memes are saying you gotta have a Xbox One or Xbox One S. And then all these memes are competing against each other. But they're all ideas. They're all the sum total of different ideas, and people latch onto it. The culture latches onto it, and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm a PlayStation fanboy. No, I'm all Xbox. La la." And then they clash, and then sometimes they meld. Some people go to this side, some people go to this side, and then some people say, "Hey, I like the Xbox and I like the PlayStation." And that's a whole new meme by itself. Saying, "Oh, I like the PlayStation, I like the Xbox." Or a meme that you have to work a 9 to 5. That's a meme by itself. In order to fulfill and have a happy life. That's a meme. Work 9 to 5, get white picket fence and a dog and a family, and live happy. Like, no, that's a meme in itself. And the only way it can be counteractive or the only way it can be not destroyed, but reflect more of a more productive lifestyle or more productive of what that person is going into, or beneficial to the person that's looking at it. They have to go down and create their own meme of saying, "Oh wait, 9 to 5 is not, the 9 to 5 job really brings this," and that's their idea. Now they can, that's a meme out there in the universe. So now people will say, "Oh, I don't need a 9 to 5 to really be happy. I can create my own life, create my own lifestyle living," and that's a meme. But to bring it down to this level of where we are with the EU banning memes. Just to tie back a little farther back, I keep saying bring it now, but it's just a lot of background information that I think that I just know. I just want to tie on. And one of those things is political comics and things like that. Remember the political comics that used to be in? Well, I guess they still are. Just nobody's reading them. That's another thing why I believe that this EU ban of Article 13 is really pushing forward, because it used to just be what I'm going to talk about. It used to just be in the newspapers, these political commentaries of making the politician have big heads, or y'all know how it is, making them walk across spikes and holding a flag, and like when you read it, you get this internal message that's not what you really see in the world, what that politician is really saying, but is what you really feeling, and probably on the underground with that politician, because politicians are full of lies, y'all know that. The political cartoons was showing the general public what was really going on behind the front end scene, and it always will cause some political baggage on the person that they was coming out. They're like, "Oh man, dang, now they know how I really feel," or they will say, "Man, we gotta cut out that comic artist because they are now messing up my political campaign, and I'm not gonna be able to have the influence that I want in order to win. So we gotta ban these comics." And it's been a lot of different. I believe it's been a lot of comics that have been banned, and I'm talking about comics that was in the news, political commentary comics that was in there. I believe those has been banned, but to tie this into nowadays, one of the reasons why they want to ban the memes, and this is with the internet, with the invention of the internet, how we have post different heads on top of different things, and the keep calm memes and all of this stuff going on. It's written in there that they want to ban memes because of how it disrupts politicians and political, I want to call them political ceremonies, or in political rituals and all of that. And it's disrupting it because people are having their own ideas, not based off of what the actual politician is given. And they see this as, and when, one side is not able to use memes or be able to use the weapons or the social commentary to their advantage, that's the huge trick. It's all about jealousy in this world, and advantage and taking advantage of things. They like, "Oh, we just gotta ban it. We just gotta ban it. We're not hip to all this mind stuff, and we see the damage that is going on. We're not able to enter that field of imagination and come up with all this stuff on our own in order to attack other people. So we're just gonna ban it. We're just gonna ban it. And the implications of this is serious because a lot of people in the general public are not able to just go knock on a senator's door and say, this is how I feel, or have a channel or an establishment where they're able to reach out to a vast amount of people about an idea that they have about this politician that somebody else probably didn't pick up on. So they create this meme. And then with the invention of the internet, it's just out there. It's just out there. And that is how it should be. We should be able to say whatever we want in whatever form. But as y'all see, when things start getting too dangerous for the other side, or when the other side is seeing it as something that is going to bring them down and not allow them to maneuver in the way that they love to maneuver, that's when it just got to stop. It just has to stop. And it's wild because a lot of people, a lot of people, including myself sometimes, I was like, well, that's in Europe. What does this have to do about YouTube and Twitter and all of that in America? And I was doing some research on it, and what they were saying was the way that YouTube works, I'm gonna just keep saying YouTube, but it's other companies as well, is that we have this thing called fair use, which is we can take clips or even news articles that other people wrote, we can comment on it, or say that's for educational purposes or any of that, and it's like, all right, cool, you can use it. And YouTube, and if you do something wrong, this is a big thing. If you do something wrong, like upload something you wasn't supposed to, you get a content strike. So now that's on you for your responsibility, and YouTube doesn't have to take responsibility on it. It's just like that's on the content uploader. But in Europe, with all these new laws and things change, well, the EU, the European Union, which is bigger than Europe, the European Union, once they change these laws and everything, the YouTube will be responsible for what their users upload, instead of just like if I was to upload a whole episode of a show, of any show that I didn't draw, I didn't write, I didn't voice act in or anything, and I uploaded it. In America, I would be in trouble. They'll take away my channel or something. But in Europe, YouTube would get striked. So now the pressure is on now for YouTube and big companies, because y'all see how people that work 9 to 5s to see this too, or people in schooling. Like, this is the system that the world is building itself up on the strictest rules here. If we got to obey by the strictest rule there, everybody got to obey by the strictest rules. And it's going to, now everybody has to follow suit to this. So it can start in one thing, and then once they see the advantages and everything, then instead of saying we got this law here, we got this law here, it switches up a little bit over there, and then it changes over there. It's like, no, we're just going to have one uniform law of what goes on. And the creator of YouTube, the CEO of YouTube, is put out her own statement saying that if Article 13 gets passed, it's going to change the landscape for creators. It's going to change the landscape for creators that's trying to express themselves and that are making a living. The Side Time podcast, I would find articles on people that was on psychedelic medicines and hospitals that was doing new studies, and they was releasing on the sites. So now, in order for me, if I would still choose to do that route, if I want to show the article on a green screen and have it come out, now once Article 13, or if Article 13 passes, I would have to pay New York Times or pay Science Daily. It's something called a link tax that's going to come out, where now I have to pay them in order to display their article and to comment on it. That's wild. So we're going to be on Just Saying on Just Time, we're going to be as original as possible, so that none of this is going to have a effect on the channel. We can keep continuing and growing and be able to share these ideas, because the expression on it, they said the internet was not going to be able to be, like, a lot of people thought the internet was not going to be able to be like slowed down or contained because it was so open. But with all these, the more it's just coming out. It's coming out, like with the net neutrality, I can't say it right now. Net neutrality, and being able to having to pay for certain sites and all of this other things going on is really changing a lot. I'm looking at Rudy. He sneaked through the fence. It's going to change a lot. It's going to change a whole lot with the videos that you're actually going to be able to see and everything. Like if I upload a video and it has a clip in it, people in Europe not going to be able to see it. And what I want to tie back on is when YouTube takes on the responsibility, rights in a thing, that now if the content uploader, if the user uploads something and they get in trouble for it, they're going to start moving to an iffy field where a lot of content users are just not going to be able to upload things, and it's just going to be big companies uploading to YouTube because they can trust that they own the copyrights and the music and everything. So it's going to just be on a trust-based system that's more off of money overall. So the idea for self-expression, I believe now, just the talk is going to come up new, because it's never going to stop. It's never going to stop. The memes may be trying to get slowed down, but that just means that now it's going to be a new form of memes. It's going to be a new form of expression, expressing ideas, instead of getting all angry and upset about this. I'm tired about the future. I'm tired about the future right now, man. But this is just something we all gotta come together and talk about and start the conversation. Because this is not being talked about enough, and it's really going to change everything. And then people going to look back and say, oh wow, this law was passed, and that's why things is changing up now. It's going to trickle down. It's really going to trickle down. And it's all based off of this fear-based system that people just don't want people to talk. And people want power. People want power, and people want opinion, and how this earth and everything is filled. Works, how this game works on life is made about ideas. And ideas, man, if you never heard an idea, you ain't living in it. You ain't living it. Like, it's a lot of people out here that just not living positive just because they don't have people saying positive things around them. And if they just heard, oh yeah, you can smile while doing that, or yeah, I love you, or oh, give me a hug or something. Just those simple things would change somebody's life so dramatically, just based off an idea. Because the idea, and based in forms, it comes down, starts as probably something more lucid than an idea, and then it's an idea, then it's a form, and it just keeps condensing down until it reaches your personality. Man, but yeah, it's really a cool time, because it's very interesting to see all of this happening. But it's just the time to talk, because a lot of people are not going to be able to share their ideas in ways that they've been comfortable. Like, I love memes. I had a meme review couple meme review videos, and I watch meme reviews on PewDiePie. It's the reason why just to talk esoterically. It's the reason why, or behind the veil, PewDiePie is the #1 subscribed YouTuber, and he stopped working with a lot of people. He dropped his team. He don't even do video games or none that much anymore, and all he does is review memes, and he has remained the #1 subscribed YouTuber. It's because these memes are powerful. They are very, very powerful, because they deal with lucid connective thoughts and references, which is, oh, you can't just keep me in this box because I know about this, I know about that, I'm efficient in that, and I know a little bit about funny thing this. Now I'm gonna put it all together, and I'm gonna show you, and I'm not gonna explain it with words, with language. Memes is, like I said, is genes, And the more they compete with each other and we able to use memes, that's representative of us, and we're going to be able to come to better and more conclusions of ourselves and raise the level of human consciousness up a bit. But if we stop all of that, we're going to have to find a new way. Just going to have to find a new way. But yeah, man. And what I've just talking about, what I talked about in the beginning about how Article 13, the 1 plus the 3 is 4. So they're trying to create a new foundation, a new box. Then we're gonna have to find ways to work ourselves out of. They trying to come up, life is trying to come up with a new program to keep us down, so that they can keep control. And that's what this channel is all about, is talking about how we can not be caught up in that program. Not be so caught up in that program and remain us. And, man, because we're made up of a lot of things. We're made up of a lot of ideas. And you see that, I see that in my own life. You probably do too. Like, if you get so caught up on being one way, you like, next week or something, like, oh man, I was so caught up in that mess, or I was so caught up in this, even when it's good things, you're like, oh wow, it's a lot of good things in this earth. I'm this and I'm that, and you just keep moving on and vibing out. And with the psychedelics, man, you just awaken to that fact. You awaken to the fact that language is not the only way is not the most efficient way to express ideas. And meme culture recognized that, and they went ham. We went ham. Memes went ham. Like, even as a meme metaphors, these are all memes. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna keep smiles on, and as long as we keep tying, combining the mind with the heart, we're gonna always be able to get our expressions out. But a lot of bullshit is being raised in this earth. I mean, it's always been raised in this earth. A lot of bullshit is being recognized in this earth. And our means of communication just have to strengthen, and we just have to talk. They can't take our guns, as you hear the other side be saying. They can't take our babes. They can't take us. They can't take us. They can build up as much fear as they want, but we still gotta remain us. We can't let it drive us towards anger, because that's what they want. And then it's going to cause more pointless murders, or pointless pointing the fingers, just more pointless separation. And then the goal of keeping us separated, which I believe is the ultimate number one goal, to have us separated in with whatever shape or form possible. And that's it, because as long as we're not coming together, we're going to always bicker against one another, and we're never going to be able to utilize the power that we have when we think the same thought or believe in something so coherently and so together that it actually arises. The governments, the European nation and everything, they want to be the collective. And as long as they have control over the collective, they control what happens in this reality. Point blank, period. And that could be keeping people depressed for whatever reason, keeping people rich for whatever reasons, keeping people poor for whatever reasons, keeping people away from psychedelics for whatever reasons, keeping people away from experiencing the universe, and keeping people in linear time. Like, memes, a lot of people, older people, not hip to memes because they so used to how the government has us trained to think in linear thoughts. Oh, you think this? All right, that's how you think. There's other people that think like this. That's just how they think. Memes was bringing people together. The SpongeBob cultures with the Marvel Universe cultures, the Thanos memes and the destruction, and you get all these ideas like art. It's art. Memes is art. And if you really stop in an expression of art, look how far art has gotten us so far with seeing who we are subconsciously, like how they say subconsciously in the world. And and to people that wasn't so brought back out of themselves, when they see an art piece, they would see a sense of peace and calmness, or say, oh wow, that's how the universe is, or oh wow, this is how this is going on in the political atmosphere, or oh, this is how family life is. I never recognized that. Art really wakens a lot of people, because that's what it's for. That's what it inherently is, and it's cold. So man, just if y'all feel like it, like this video, so that it can be the YouTube algorithm could push it out to more people. Share this video on wherever, with whoever it is, or in your circle, or on your social media, whatever. And man, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for listening. This has been Captain Naga, just saying, Article 13. As long as we stay original, as long as I stay original, I'm gonna be able to keep uploading and get this conversation out, man. But I'm gonna head out right now. I see y'all next time. And as well, I'm gonna form a Discord so that we can all talk on a Discord whenever we want. And check us out on Instagram. There's funny things going on in my own soul with Facebook. So I don't think I'm gonna be using Facebook so often as much anymore. So man, I'm gonna just leave y'all with, we all tie, but do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Until next time, it's Captain Naga, just saying tie all the way.